So one of the big retorts the conservatives have towards liberals is problems with liberals is they want equality of outcome, and we all know that's bad and that's evil. We, though, on the right, the conservatives, we want equality of opportunity. That's what this country is really about, is equality of opportunity. I reject that completely. There is no such thing as equality of opportunity. It's a myth, it's a perversion, and it's an excuse for massive rights violation. What does equality of opportunity mean? Did I have the same opportunity as Michael Jordan has to play basketball? No, I mean, I was born with certain genes. He was born with certain genes. He practiced when he was a kid. I didn't practice when I was a kid. He's tall, I'm short. I mean, there are 1,000 ways in which we're never going to be equal. Not in outcome, not in opportunity. It's meaningless. Are we all equally smart? Are we all equally ambitious? Are we all, do we have the same educational background? Should we try to give everybody the same educational background? Is it possible to give everybody the same background? No, it's not. So we should get away from these so-called Platonic ideals. They're not ideal, they're actually vices. These are bad things. The idea of equality of outcome or equality of opportunity are bad, because how do we get there, right? The only way to get there, is, let's say I'm born to a wealthy family and I have all the privileges and I go to top schools. How are we going to make everybody else equal to me in terms of the opportunities? I know people on Wall Street, I know people at law firms, and I want to be a financier, and I've got all the connections. Some kid, grew up in the Midwest or in South LA, has no money, doesn't know anybody. How are we going to equate the two of us? Can we give him the money? Well, the only way to give him the money is to take money from me and give it to him. By what right? That's wrong. Okay, what about my contacts? Well, how are we going to give him contacts? We can't give him contacts, so we can take mine away. So we can say, you can't use your contacts anymore. There's a law against using contacts. There's just no way to do this. This is silly. There's no such thing as equality of opportunity. The only way to achieve anything approaching it is to violate everybody's rights, lower us all to the lowest common denominator. And it's the same outcome as equality of outcome. So what equality do we believe in? What did the founding fathers mean when they said we're all born equal? What they meant was that, we are all born with potential. We're all human beings, and we all have the same rights. Not the same outcomes, not the same opportunities, but we all have a right to life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness. Whether you're rich or whether you're poor, whatever property you have a right to that property. Whether you're rich or whether you're poor, you have a right to free speech. It doesn't matter if you're an aristocrat, if you're born in South LA or in Orange County or in Alaska. It doesn't matter. You have a right to free speech. You have a right to your own ideas, to hold those ideas. You have a right to pursue your own life in whatever rational way you think makes the most sense for you. So it's equality of rights. It's equality before the law. It's and think about the historical context, right? In Europe at the time, this is in the 18th century, if you're an aristocrat and committed murder, or if you were a peasant and committed murder, you would get completely different sentences. The idea was no, before the law, in terms of rights, you are equal. So aristocrat, peasant, you get the same sentence for murder, if the conditions are the same. So that's the sense in which we are equal. We're equal in terms of rights. The rich guy shouldn't be allowed to steal from the poor guy. The poor guy shouldn't be allowed to steal from the rich guy. They both have the same rights before the law to protect their life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. That's the only sense in which equality means anything, and we need to get away from all these other other notions of equality that try to soften the edge, but ultimately are driven by an egalitarian notion, and ultimately are driven by a need, a call to sacrifice some people, those who happen for whatever reason to have stuff, to those who don't. Sacrifice is wrong, it's evil, no matter what the outcome is. It's wrong to sacrifice some people for other people. So we're for equality of rights, not opportunities.